Oh, and as soon as we go live here, it looks like we get a little bit of the lag here. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Ink and Insights here with Dr. Doom's Fan Club and Nine Panel Grid. Stu, you back with us?
I'm back with you. Yep. Station
There
guys,
we
how we
go.
doing? Welcome to another episode. Yep. Your resident idiot here, of course. Your boy Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club. Welcome guys to another new episode of our comic book highlight breakdown show where we talk about our favorite moments from this past week of new releases, what we enjoyed the most, all the little things, our favorite covers, all that good stuff. As always, I'm joined by the brains and the brawn of the operation, my man E, Nine Panel Grid. E, how you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. It's been, we were talking backstage, it's been weirdly chill recently. I don't know how to deal with that. I'm dressing for the occasion, though. I'm feeling chill. I'm acting chill. Shout out to the comfy crew out there. Get your hoodies, put your hats on, relax. I think we're in for a good time tonight.
Yeah, man. Hoodie looks good on you, bro. I like it. Like
What does
the all black
what
one.
doesn't look good
Yeah.
on this though? Come on. I mean, the hoodie doesn't have to do a lot of work, is all I'm saying.
You got the LA skater dad look going on. You know what I mean? You're pulling that off quite well.
Now, I just need the skater balance and then I'll be legit. But like I don't think that's ever actually gonna happen.
Yeah. Me and you both, man. Me and you both. But yeah, man, it's we're here with a another new week of comics, but of course we got some headlines to get into to start some big announcements here recently at the top of the week. Um, yeah, man, why don't we get into this one? Grant Morrison, we finally find out what that return to DC is going to look like, and he's going to be helming a Batman and Deadpool book. He's reuniting with Dan Mora, which was cool to see. Greg Capullo is going to be handling things on the Marvel side of the ball. I guess it's going to be a two-part crossover with DC and Marvel handling each of their own ends. But yeah, dude, I was flabbergasted. Just to sum it up in no short terms, but it was mind blowing to me. I did not think that Grant Morrison writing Batman is one thing, but Deadpool is a whole nother can of worms. Not a character I really pin for him. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see him back. I'm a little tentative about this. I guess I told you in the back chat. I think Phantom X would have been the move. I feel like he
Dude.
went to them or had a Phantom X story, and they made him pivot to Deadpool to make it more marketable or something like that. But nonetheless, he does have a good we'll say voice for that snarky secret agent type, as we've seen before. So I don't think it's something that he can't do necessarily, but it's just it's a curious, I guess, a curious announcement is how it catches me. But what were your thoughts, man? I'm curious.
Man, my very first thought is Mark Miller, you did me dirty, dude. You've been tweeting and posting all of these little things about DC and Marvel getting together like it was you. You made me put out a video saying, like, is this Mark Miller? Is he going to be coming back? And then the same day that I post that video, it drops that Grant Morrison is the dude that's tackling it. And I look like a chump. Mark,
Not at all. I
Mark,
think Mark. It seemed like Mark made like a late audible, from the way he was talking about it, though.
maybe that could be. That's a hell of an audible going from Mark Miller to Grant Morrison, though. In reality, how do I feel about this? Man, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm still scratching my head over the combo of characters here. Can Grant Morrison do it? And actually, we should preface this by saying Grant Morrison is only doing the DC side of this. It is not Grant tackling both sides of it. In fact, the Marvel one, from what I can understand, has like a whole cabal of writers. They got like Kevin Smith coming to do some. I think they have Zeb Wells writing parts of it as well.
Oh,
So it's like, yeah, there's like bits and pieces all over the place with Greg Capullo being on the artwork. So like, I don't know, man. This was not on my bingo card. This was not.
and
This is yeah. Who had this on their bingo card? I don't think it exists out there in a world like Deadpool and Batman chilling together, fighting crime. Like, what is going to pull them together that's going to make this make sense? I got nothing.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's it's just been so long since he's come back. This just feels like such an awkward entry for him to, or you know, an awkward way for him to kind of like reintroduce himself, and it kind of feels like he's marching to the beat of their drum rather than to his own. You know what I mean? It feels like, oh, Grant wants back into comics. This is a place where we can kind of to plug him in. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I hate to be lukewarm on Grant Morrison news, but I am.
Dude, if Grant came to them, right, and said, I have this killer idea, it's gonna blow everyone's mind. It's Deadpool and Batman. If I knew that to be 100% factual, I would be excited for this. All of this seems cash grabby, though. This just totally seems like let's smash some characters together to make little baby dollars, you know? That's all I can think about here.
And it's, I don't know. No, yeah, for sure. But it's good to see Capullo back. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we've already been through that with Wolverine Revenge, and you know, it's yes, it's going to be great to see him drawing Batman again. You know, I loved his Snyder run, but it's like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's you know, sometimes these like, you bring these guys out of retirement or after a long hiatus, and they come back and they give you something really unique and really special. Sometimes you get these cash grab situations where it feels like the company is making a pivot and, you know, trying to grab somebody big, and you know, maybe originally had somebody else like Mark lined up for this, and then, you know, went with Grant in the 25th hour, something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. This kind of feels like somewhere in the middle. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
If they would have announced this and they said Mark Miller was writing it, I would have been like, oh, I get that. It kind of makes sense. Like, it feels like a Mark Miller thing that he.
I think he would have been better suited for a book like this, man. Like, and this book, you know, this out of this type of book, I would just expect, you know, non-invested comic book, you know, fun with some great action. And I think, you know, Mark Millar is definitely the guy to look at and deliver on that front. So it's kind of weird to bring Grant back. And like, I don't know, man, Grant, I feel like Grant Morrison, not that he can't do a great one shot, but I feel like he always works better when he has a little bit of runway in front of him. You know what I mean? Where he can tell a story. I feel like when you try to kind of box him in like this, it's going to be different. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, if this is what if this is some kind of like backdoor event where like it opens up the possibility of a multiverse where DC and Marvel can just kind of have that sandbox open forever and ever, and creators can come do something. If that is maybe the selling point, like, and Grant is introducing that, make it happen. Cha-ching, I'm there. I'm down for that. Yeah. If not, though,
I don't know. I just got buyer's remorse. Like, after, even when they brought Grant back, you know, when they brought Grant back for Ice Cream Man, I was like, oh shit, like Grant Morrison on Ice Cream Man. But even that was just like, eh.
Dude, he did 2 stories in that issue. Am I wrong on that? I think he did 2.
Yeah, no.
I loved the one. The one that he did that was like Dante's Inferno. That one was killer. That was an awesome story that he did.
Yeah,
I saw your head nod. I saw what you just did there.
No, it was good. No, it was good, dude. But like, I felt like, I think that, I don't know. It was like a little bit of a tease to just bring us like Grant Morrison Ice Cream Man, but have him only operating with a one page story format. You know what I mean? Like, let him do a whole guest issue or something like that. But it was cool. That one was cool. I'm not even gonna front. The Gustave Doré like references in that, like to the old Inferno art, was super dope. But yeah, it didn't reach the pinnacles, I guess, of what I thought it could be. So
okay, I can appreciate that for sure. Yeah. Well, before we jump into the next topic, you want to say what up to a couple people that have already joined us here in the chat here, starting with Derek Neiman here. Loving that dinosaur thing, man. Everywhere on the YouTubes with that dinosaur, man. Nice seeing you.
What up, bro? Yeah, man.
Dude, we got the Comic Patrol hanging with us here. Always great seeing you. Friend of the show.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Nick Comic Culture hanging with us. Nick.
Asian brother.
Comic Patrol saying he had to put on the air conditioning today. If we ever needed proof that global warming is real, our friend from the great white north is putting on the AC before me, the Californian. What is wrong in this world right now?
Yeah,
I'm scared. I'm scared for us all.
Yeah, man. Same.
We got Nick saying DC and Marvel was so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Shout out to Dr. Ian Malcolm right there. We got Derek saying Morrison waited specifically for you. Yeah, dude. All of these people, man, they were out to get me. I don't know what I did, but you know, I appreciated each and every one of them. I love their books. And last but not least, here we got Edson hanging with us. Edson, nice seeing you, man.
Station, brother.
Oh yeah. All right, Stu. Why don't you kick us off with our first look into a new segment here, which is going to be Summer Vacation with the Ink and Insights crew.
Right. Yeah, man. We're gonna go all around the world, different spots around the world, and highlight some of the cool comic books, you know, from that corner of the world. We're gonna start this week in Italy. And I went with Diabolique. Now, I've never read an issue of Diabolique, but I've always loved and like pined after this comic, we'll say. It's been transformed into a TV show, a movie on Amazon Prime. It was originally published by two members of the bourgeois class, two sisters. I think Andrea and Luciana, or Angela and Luciana Guiasani. I'm probably butchering that name. Guiasani. In 1962, and they've published over, I think at this point, over like 1,000 issues of this serial comic book. Diabolique is a thief who essentially steals from other criminals. You know, he came out and made a lot of waves because he was really kind of like a badass. He killed anybody who got in his way. He would kill other criminals, like took no prisoners. And really kind of, you know, launched this whole noir genre in Italian comics. But just such a cool character. You know, he's got this cool backstory where he was raised on this island by a bunch of other groups, a group of thieves, and you know, taught all these different, you know, he masterminded all these different, you know, criminal occupations. Like he's able to make masks, which can resemble any person that he needs to imitate. He's got this badass like right-hand man and this female friend who's also like his lover. He's just super cool, man. Everything you would want from a comic book superhero. Eventually his journey goes from villain to anti-hero, becomes more like of a Robin Hood character throughout his journey in the comic books. But a Diabolique is always like just a character like I thought was super cool. And I know that Italy has such a rich history when it comes to comic books and comic book artists and comic book writers. So yeah, I definitely wanted to spotlight this one on the Summer Vacation segment. So I know there's some collected versions out there. There's also you can rent the 1960s show / movie, I think, or TV movie on Amazon Prime for like 3 cents. If you want to, I just looked it up today, but yeah, okay. there's also, I guess there's like a modern movie franchise or something like that they're building from it. But one of Italy's most like famous cultural touchstones. So definitely wanted to shout, and I think it's just so dope that he was created by two sisters in the 1960s. They apparently lived in Milan near this public transportation hub, and they wanted to create a magazine, or a story that could fit into those small serial magazines that morning commuters take with them and read all the time in Italy. And so that was their goal. And yeah, but he just got such a great design, cool little mask. And I'm always with he's kind of like, got a whole lot of Batman vibes to him, cool gadgets, and able to kind of like chameleon his way and learn any set of skills or what have you. So yeah, want to shout him out.
Hell yeah, loving that, dude. And it's like the influence is definitely, I mean, you could see it just, I mean, visually, like right off the bat here. You could see the tones that were taken for even characters like Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, very clearly Batman.
Yes.
And I can't remember where in the realm of conversations this all occurred, but correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Mahdi say that this was like a big influence on him, specifically one of the new comics he has called Mahdi Keen, by the way, is who I'm referring to. Superhero, Steel Streets, all that jazz. He has a new comic book coming out. I think it's like heavily, heavily influenced by this, and in fact, it might even be fully in Italian.
Oh hell yeah! No, I completely forgot about that. So yeah, I mean, if it's got Mahdi's stamp of approval, what more do you need?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I mean, yeah, the man he's a man of fine taste. So yeah, definitely, definitely. Shout out to that, man. That looks incredible. Are you gonna be on the lookout for some of these issues, maybe at Heroes?
I am. I do want to, and like going back on eBay and stuff, you can collect the originals, or I think some of the earliest ones are pretty pricey, but it's not too expensive to grab one here and there. So I might grab a spare copy here and there, even though I'm not going to be able to read them, just to have them. Yeah, I agree with that. And I've always thought this character just looked
Yeah.
cool, and I'm a sucker for the anti-hero Robin Hood types, man. That's right up my alley.
And also, Stu, never sell yourself short, dude. You can learn Italian. If you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything.
Hey, thanks, man. I need to, because
Of course.
yeah, definitely that's definitely tops of the vacation list when it comes to the wife switches. So we're gonna get out there sooner than
Ooh,
later. Yeah,
nice.
man.
I'm always
Yeah.
so fearful, man. My LCS owner, he always talks about retirement and where they're going to be retiring, and he's retiring out to Italy. And every time I hear it, I'm just like, man, that means you're going to go away. That means your shop's going to go away. I kind of have to hate Italy a little bit just because of that now. Dang.
I totally get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Man, that guy sounds like he's got it all figured out though.
he's a smart dude. I'll tell you that much, man.
That's
He's
awesome.
yeah, he's
Good for
legit.
him, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and dive into our first issue of the night here, kicking things off with Marvel. You want me to take this one, man?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Cool. We got Spider-Man and Wolverine #1, written by Mark Guggenheim with artwork by Kari Andrews. This one looked like it was going to be fun, and lo and behold, I had a hell of a lot of fun with this. This was stupid fun, man. The premise is right there in the title for you. Wolverine teaming up with Spider-Man. That's all you really need to know with this. A shady ex-Shield agent type guy comes to Wolverine with the notion that someone is out there trying to steal basically government secrets, Shield secrets from this old dismantled helicarrier, and it could mean the outing of basically all kinds of different agents, double agents, secret agents. And if that were to happen, crazy stuff was about to ensue, right? So Logan definitely goes out, basically makes it his own mission to make sure that he tackles everything that's going on here, but pulls in the help of one Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man. Um, dude, Kari Andrews, dude, can we talk about this man? Like,
Dude,
oh,
it's incredible. It's such a great joy to me to see like somebody else who loves, and we talked about this with Spider-Man, who loves the 90s as much as we do, and it was obviously like shaped and molded by that. But it's just, both of these intro pages here on the left and the right of the first time we see Wolverine and Spider-Man in this book are just such bombastic, amazing love letters to each of these characters. You can't help but I just read this book with a damn smile on my face, and I was super
yes.
impressed at Guggenheim's. I'm not normally like I don't really know a whole lot of work and from Guggenheim, but I was super impressed at the way that this was constructed and the way that they pulled on all the past threads of for both of these characters, and um, used them to weave a really interesting, and at the end of the day, more than anything else, just a freaking fun story, man. It was such a this is why you read comics, for feeling like this when you're done with them. So this was, yeah, just straight out of the gate here, seeing Wolvie, doing what he does best, and also Spidey swinging through the streets of New York. It was fantastic, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, we have the segment make a splash, but like, let's be honest. I mean, this issue is just chock full of make a splash candidates here. So like, I mean, it was only right to showcase these right on the front page here to show the introduction of our characters. So sick, so clean, so 90s, but still feeling modern. It was like absolutely great work. I heard Kari, and I said this in my review of the book as well, but I heard Kari in an interview, and I apologize because I don't remember where he was being interviewed, but he said, I make comics to make comics, right? If it's something that I draw that could be replicated on the big screen, if it can be made into a TV, a movie, or anything else, I'm not doing it, right? I make comics to make comics. And you feel that so much in this book with the way that he lays out panels, the way that, I mean, and sometimes it's more successful than others, but even looking at the Spider-Man page, which clearly kind of draws you into where the next action is going to take place, which is with his girlfriend, friend, whatever you want to refer to her as, right? Shay. It draws you in there. She's not obviously floating in regular space there, but it's pulling you into the next action that's going to happen there. You can't do that, at least in a clean way, in any other medium than comics. So I just so appreciate the approach that he takes there. And it's the same with everything else that happens in this issue. To kind of like dive further into the story, they get to the helicarrier. Who's there but Kraven and Omega Red, ready to stop them. They start doing battle, but as like a big beat happens and Wolverine basically is like he's underneath all of this rubble, it's collapsed on top of him. He escapes only to realize that he's maybe kind of sort of been buried alive, very much akin to, you know, the Death of Kraven storyline. And then we see, awesome. I know, right? And then we see old Pete with the Weapon X helmet on here, not able to thwip, but able to retract some claws and, you know, bring those out with the schnicked. They're reliving all of these different moments from one another's past, you know, like but with their own characters, right? So like, oh, you see that sick freaking like picture of Spider-Man on the X crucifix here from, what was that, Uncanny 252, I believe it was, the cover of that issue. Dude, like,
yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, all of this stuff here, the way that he composes these pages and all of these memories that like are flooding back to us as we're reading it, but clearly flooding to the characters, the way that he makes those pages. Again, it's another perfect example of how he's kind of living what he is saying, basically, is saying, like, you know, I make these to make comics. I freaking love it. It's just so freaking cool.
It was, dude, as soon as like that scene where Wolverine's trapped underground, he's like, wait a minute, he's like, and it feels wood. And he's like, you know, this can't be. And then that great, you know, page of him popping out, the iconic, like, you know, looking like it's from Kraven's Last Hunt. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Like, oh, I'm so here for this. And yeah, doubling down and then seeing Peter with the Weapon X gear on, it was just so dope to see those two start to have. And then Magneto, we got the Fatal Attractions, dude. You know your boy is buying the ticket and taking the ride when. But yeah, just so well curated. All the, you know, hit all the big beats, and it was pitch perfect, man. Like it was such a great back and forth between these two, and like I said, their myriad histories and all the traumas they've endured. And you knew Mysterio was at play somehow. Not too long after this happened, but it was so cool, man. It was still so well done.
So then on top of that, we get to the revelation, which again pulls us right back to the 90s. So Wolverine's kind of holding the bad guys at bay. He's letting Spider-Man, who, by the way, he recruited for his scientific knowledge, right? He's just like, you're a smart kid, right? So you're going to be able to help me. Like, legit, that's his only reasoning. He's like, you're smart, so you must know computers. Come with me. So he's buying Pete time to like basically hack into the helicarrier to at least download the information so nobody else can get it. Lo and behold, what does he see? But his parents, who back in the 90s, it was revealed that they were SHIELD operatives who were actually killed on a mission. Wolverine's there. Logan is there on, the plane with them as that plane is going down. And we don't know exactly what Pete sees, but we know sure as hell that he comes out kicking, screaming, tossing Wolverine to the floor, saying, I am going to kill you. It was wild, dude. Like, as a 90s kid.
Dude. I love that. I loved it when, first of all, I love when they do those like side profile shots of and Pete's there on his mask and he's looking at the screen and we see like his little mask, but then we see his eye under the mask. You know what I mean? And it just gives that little bit of emotion. It's so well done. But yeah, man, I love the little shot. His parents are on the plane, whatever. Peter's viewing the video transmission, and they see Wolverine, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he replies, "My job." I was like, "Yo!"
Yes.
I was like, "It's going down." Man, it reminded me of like, the way MCU did Civil War with Winter Soldier and Tony's parents. Like it was freaking like that was just after everything, after that high they had put us on by going back down memory lane with all those huge moments like that to end it like that. And then I love Peter, Logan fighting those things and they all disappear. And, Peter comes out of the helicarrier and kicks Logan. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. In the way Andrews draws Spidey, he's so big and hulking. You see him there on the right? He's like on top of him. He's like big, intimidating Spidey. Like it's just, it was so cool, man. And such a because at the beginning of the story, it's like, all right, they've lost a big list of spies. You got to get it back. Simple enough story premise, right? But then choosing to pull like two of Marvel Universe's most famous and kind of forgotten in a lot of ways super spies and Peter's parents and put them into the story like this and with Wolverine and all that is flawless. So well done.
Heck yeah, dude. Totally agree. Like some books try to be extraordinarily emotional, some try to be extraordinarily heady, make you think about things. Some books try to be really fun. Not all books always hit the mark, but this book knew the assignment. It was supposed to be super fun and it delivered on that idea, man. So like this book was wildly successful as far as I'm concerned. Not going to change my life, but I'm going to go back and reread it, or at the very least look through the artwork on this because like it's a feast for the eyes, man. It looks so freaking nice. It's an awesome book.
Absolutely. Yeah, Andros is operating on all cylinders right now, man. Really killing it, doing some incredible work. So
hell yeah. Well, here, let's say what up to a couple more people that joined us here since we've been talking about this issue, starting with moderator extraordinaire, just overall great person, Christina Payne.
Hey, Christina. What up?
Always a pleasure seeing you. Nick here saying, Italy sounds nice. Wait, how far away is it from Greece? Asking for a friend. I don't know. I'm not worldly enough to be able to answer that kind of question here. Let us know in the chat why you're so concerned about Greece, though.
Yeah, bro. What's up? Are you thinking about leaving Jenny behind in the dust, man? Are you through with Friston already?
Jeez, inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, going with the hot new flavor in town, huh?
I guess so. Speaking of hot new flavor, Gore Vidal joining us here. Evening to you, sir. Always great seeing you.
What up, Gore?
Bobby Delegato, the man in the mask here, since a certain somebody didn't want to mask up for us tonight. That's okay, though. It's all right.
I mean, it's kind of don't you worry.
We got Edson. I showed it previously, but he was saying that the interview with Kari Andrews was very likely to be on Casually Comics. And Edson, I do believe you are correct here. So shout out to Casually Comics. Go check out that interview if you haven't already. Good stuff. Let's see what else we got. There we go. We got Nick saying the story was a little eye-rolly, but still fun. The art was pure enjoyment. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we've been saying here. Like, if you came for the story, it's serviceable. It does the trick, but it's in service of the fun that you're having on the pages. So it's good stuff here. Comic Patrol also saying that it was beautiful. Oh, snap. We got Rogue with us here. Rogue. Nice seeing you, buddy.
What up, Rogue?
Let's see. We got Edson saying, I love Astonishing Spider-Man and Wolverine from 2011. Yes, that was
Jason Aaron and Adam Kubert, I think, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. Who were they fighting?
Shit, I forgot too. But it was awesome.
Come on, bro. Come on, buddy. We're only on Dr. Doom's fan club.
Was that Doom in the Phoenix Bullet?
Yeah.
Was that when he shot the Planet Doom with the Phoenix Bullet? Sorry, man. They all the stories run together at a certain point, you know. It's just a big big composite of
You know, if Doom
stories.
comes up though, I gotta call you out on it. Like I gotta make sure
Yeah,
you remember that one.
fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, we got Fable hanging with us from one collection down. Fable, nice seeing you. The Blame Fable show is going to be coming back here in June, so keep those calendars ready and open, everyone. Make sure you hit that up. I think that just about catches it up. We got people saying what up to each other. Oh, I got it. Okay, gotta shout this out. Rogue giving you some love. That Doom mask is dope.
Station, bro. Hell yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into our next issue here, which definitely is a vast difference from Spider-Man and Wolverine. You want to go ahead and take this one, man?
Sure. I guess I should have taken Spider-Man and Wolverine in hindsight, huh? Yeah.
Sucker.
All right. So this one is a switch up in terms of our guest artist. Felipe Andrade takes the majority of this issue, whereas they, the guest artists, which have been different each issue, have normally been doing 2-3 pages there at the beginning, or interspersed throughout the book, not taking on the majority of the work. So that was a welcome change. Always good to see Felipe and Ram V together. This, much of Felipe's work deals with Black Racer and dealing with Light Ray, and kind of like a post-mortem stasis type of situation where he's kind of deciding what his final fate should be and wants Black Racer to take him to the source so he can see if there's any chance he can be revived and sent back to help out his family, which is obviously in dire straits as they've been essentially evicted from their home in the most violent and horrific way.
Evicted is like such a perfect
they've
word.
had I guess we'll say a Kryptonian eviction.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, dude. So what did you think seeing Felipe and just kind of the poetic follow up to Light Ray's death that the story was?
It was wild, man. Like, well, first and foremost, Felipe is like probably one of my favorite modern day artists. So
Yeah.
it was fantastic seeing his work. I mean, when he's paired with Ram V, of course, like it's gonna be something spectacular. I got what I wanted, right? Like, I mean, it hit every single expectation that I had for it. It looked glorious. And it's so crazy to think that basically it takes place within like the space of like, it's kind of like a book that happens in between pages from the previous issue, right? Because we knew Light Ray's fate and we knew that the Justice League Unlimited show up. And it's like, it just squeezes right in there perfectly and tells the story. It kind of is like is the end cap of Light Ray's question throughout the rest of the previous issue is like what happens after you die, right? And this was kind of like the answer to that question. So I don't know, I loved it. I think artistically it really spelled things out nicely, mostly nicely. Things get a little bit murky, especially when it comes to like like so there's some scenes where like Black Racer is drowning, I guess is the best way that I can put that. Like I had to go through this a couple times and like, can I sit here and raise my hand and say, yep, I understood everything 100%? No, probably not.
No, I'm with you right there.
Yeah, but I got it well enough, and I think that it's again similar to Spider-Man and Wolverine, but very different. Feast for the eyes. Like, I mean, everything is done in such magnificent quality.
And I think what Andrade's like one of his greatest strengths is his color choices, man. It's just so incredible. Like whether it's this or I'm thinking about that Swan Songs issue he did with W. Maxwell Prince, but I just love his selections and how he chooses to incorporate them in here. But I completely agree with what you're saying about some of it got lost in the sauce for me, and particularly, this part where he kind of has Light Ray in his, because Light Ray's kind of like a lot of points in the story, he's just like this little orb, right, that he's talking to.
Yeah,
and exactly. Like he kind of like disappears, here and is getting like washed away, and we don't. That is hard to grasp as a reader. So and it is very ethereal, sometimes almost to a fault. But regardless, it's super dope to see. And though most of it does deal with Black Racer, I really did like the part with Highfather when all the refugees of New Genesis are trying to make their way to Earth. They don't have a boom tube or whatever, so Highfather has to make a door in that whole sequence where here there shall be a door, and all that was super well done. And yeah, then we kind of see the ship kind of come crashing down to Earth, and it's up to Superman and the Justice League to kind of slow its descent and prevent mayhem and mass destruction from happening as our issue ends. But yeah, what did you think about the transition back to Cagle's Justice League?
I think that this is probably the best usage of the two artist thing that they have working right in the issues right now, because most of the time it's been like, here's a little bit of a history lesson of the New Gods and the New Gods property, and then here's the story that we're being delivered, and Cagle did the story, and whoever was the guest artist did the little history lesson. This was very different though. This was all of it was the story. It was all taking place in real time right here within the issue. But the handoff worked out so well, because if you're dealing with a character like Black Racer, who is kind of like the, he's basically death, right? The personification of death for the New Gods, walking through the purgatory state and going into the afterlife and things like that, it totally makes sense for that art change to take place, and it totally makes sense for the handoff to then happen again back to Cagle. It was just a really, really good issue. From start to finish, I think it sets up the latter half of what the series is going to be as well, now that the New Gods are basically careening down into Earth. As a last ditch effort just for survival. I think this sets up for the battle that's going to ensue, the players that are going to be involved in it, and I don't know, it's going to be awesome. It makes me wonder if Orion is going to be able to kind of get out of the mindset and the mission that New Father originally gave him, now that I'm sorry, so. New Father, Highfather. Yeah.
Yeah. I would hope that once they, assuming that Supes is able to slow the ship and everybody's able to land safely, I think after a conversation, I would hope that he's able to see the reality of the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Highfather's been also, like, since the onset, especially in the early issues, like, he straight up was off. Something was weird about him. And it almost felt like he was portrayed as someone with memory loss, dementia, if you will, something along those lines. It felt like he was a very aged, very elderly character. So it makes me wonder if Orion's gonna, I don't know. I guess if that is true and he's having a moment of clarity now, or if Orion is just going to be like, screw you, old man, like, I have a mission to complete and I never stop a mission. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna. I think he's gonna wise up. Hopefully, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, but gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Either way, highly entertaining issue as far as I'm concerned, man. I think it sounds like it was the same for you, though.
It is, dude, and they've given us so much through. Like, I love the pacing. It's exhilarating. Like, it's such an intriguing story. So much at stake already. I mean, New Genesis has been destroyed. Like, that's crazy that we're kind of nearing. We're still kind of in the first arc, I would think, and this is where we're at. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a 12-issue series. We're at issue 6, so we're right there at the midpoint here. This is setting the stage now for the latter half. So it's exciting, man. But it goes to show that the I don't know, the balancing act of a world without Apocalypse or without Darkseid, it's getting a little bit topsy-turvy, right? There's definitely a power vacuum that's being taken advantage of, for sure.
Facts.
Yeah. With that being said, though, you also not only wanted to spotlight this issue, but you had a little bit of something that you wanted to showcase here in your little things.
Yeah, dude, I was just struck by, after we got all the kind of like ethereal pastel watercolors of Andrade's art, when we transitioned back into the Justice League scene, I would just love the clean line. It's so clean here by Cagle, and this Clark Kent, like, the little curly cue of the hair. I was just really struck by that panel in the middle of the page and just how impressive the line work was. So, yeah, I agree. I gotta agree with Rogue. I love his Superman. I love the look for his Justice League, dude. There's a shot in here where Diana is looking up at Clark as I think he's kind of catching the thing, and she's got just this great look of grit and determination on her face, and it's just so like lean and badass. So it's been a joy to see him flex all sorts of muscles on this book already. And I think what they're doing with the guest artists and having guys fill in here and there, I think that really is the recipe for success nowadays. When you go with like, especially with the big two comics where they want their books on time and they're going to come out monthly, whether you're ready for them or not. And I see Jason Aaron doing this a lot with his artists too, but just finding guys to fill in here and there, to cover, to give, I think it was really cool that Andrade picked up a whole lot of slack in this one to give Cagle more breathing room down the line. I just like the way they structure that. And I think, it's something that he was kind of finding his way with in Detective, but it seems like he's really, I don't know. They're really operating on a high level with it here.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree. I mean, yeah, and if it's giving him breathing room not only to finish other issues or get ahead of the game, but also just deliver the quality of work, because like we were all pretty critical of Dawn Runner, where he was the primary artist from start to finish, and things looked very nice, but they were very hard to read. It was very cluttered, very chaotic. This is so the antithesis of that. It is very easy to read, very concise. And you had pointed out something too, especially with your little thing here, the expressions on people's faces, like how he is able to allow these characters to emote. Like it makes me think back to some of the moments where Scott was getting ready to leave to go on this mission, and he was kind of going over the mental note of what he would say to Barda and what he would say to their child and things like that. And then seeing Barda and her reaction to dude trying to peace out. And he's like, no, we're a family. Like, this is how we roll. Like seeing all that kind of stuff and seeing Soup's face here, like it's good stuff, man. It's like he's really doing he's doing some of my favorite work of his in this book right now. So shout out to Evan Cagle.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm glad he's getting, because he's such an amazing artist, man. And I truly think that run of covers he did for Detective Comics is some all-time great work, and I think museum worthy, and I hope it gets championed like it should. But yeah, it's great to see him kind of getting his flowers on interior art here. So
yeah, for sure. Speaking of shout outs, we had a couple more people I think I may have missed or has joined us here, starting with Warren.
What up, bro?
Man, let's see here. I saw a couple more.
Division in the close.
The one, the only, the hardcover master of the universe here, Simpleton DC. Who remembers Marvel Knights, Spider-Man, Wolverine? We were just talking about it, man. Yep, awesome stuff. Let's see here.
Was that that was a Marvel Knights book?
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, take it back, by Brett Matthews. No, I don't remember that. Then I thought it was the one that we were talking about. Maybe not though.
And then I think didn't Mark Millar write like an official Marvel Knights Spider-Man, like when they were like in the early waves, the first one or two waves of it?
I remember Kevin Smith did, and then Mark Millar, didn't he write the ill-fated what turned out to be an Aunt May story? I can't for the life of me remember what it was, but it was like it was supposed to be like an homage to like the teen romance stories of like the early days of comic books, but it turned out that it was really a story about Aunt May and Peter Parker's parents early on in their lives, and how I think it was implied that May was really the one that got pregnant and had to give the baby up, and then the Parkers are the ones that raised Peter, only to die to then go back into the care of May and Ben. So, oh wow. God, was it called Trouble? I think it was called Trouble, something along those lines. Anyway,
that's awesome. I mean, that's wild.
There's your potential history lesson, unless I'm totally wrong about that. The book exists. I'm like 99% sure it was Mark Millar though. And if not, Mark, this is your recompense for screwing me up on my video and making me post false news. How dare you?
Yeah, he also wrote the Ultimate Fantastic Four book and gave Ultimate Doom goat legs. So There's that as well.
There's that as well. Yes. We also got the one and only James Phelps hanging with us here. Phelpsy, nice seeing you.
James.
Let's see. Chat's been bumping. Everyone's saying what up to one another. Bobby giving the best advice ever. Keep it in your pants, Aunt May. Jeez.
Aunt May's such a freak, bro.
I mean, we don't shame here on Incan Insights, but also, come on, Aunt May. You know better. All right. I will go ahead and I'll take this issue. I'll let you off the hook for Red Coat number 12 here, written by Jeff Johns with artwork by Brian Hitch. I think this was like a fun week of comics because this kind of follows that same train of thought here, man. This was a wild ride, and I'm kind of, as much as I enjoyed the kind of one-shot issues that we got with Red Coat, where he was hanging out with Annie Oakley, hanging out with Johnny Appleseed, stuff like that, I kind of was ready to get back into the larger frame of the story and see where this narrative was going to progress. And this issue has done that in a big bad way. Now that the Northerners' mission is kind of out there in the open, we know what they're supposed to be doing. And the Northerner is basically trying to stop the South from winning the Civil War at this point. But the Civil War is also potentially going to win because of the same things that the Northerner has, which is a little bit of time travel capabilities here. We find out that the Northerner comes back there and he kind of convinces Simon Pure, hey, you kind of need to help me stop this because your immortality, it's kind of tied to the country being the country. And if the country stops being that country, you stop being immortal. That means you're going to be done, dude. So, whether you want to be a hero or not, like it's time to make a choice. They kind of are able to track this individual down that has been able to kind of manipulate the war landscape for the South. And they see that dude is just like filled to the brim with futuristic stuff, man. He's got money. He's got all the weapons that like no one is going to be able to like combat. And he's also got the world's best candy bar on hand here with Snickers. So I can't be totally mad at the dude, even though I'm like mostly mad at the dude. What did you think about the
world's best candy bar? Is like, wow, all right. We're just gonna like throw that down and not even talk about
it? Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna have a nunchucks post fight again?
I thought on my dying bed, I'm reaching for a candy bar. I'm not reaching for a fucking Snickers.
What?
I don't know.
What are you?
Man.
For? If you say a Three Musketeers, I swear to God,
come on. What do I look like? I don't know, man. Candy bar.
And candy bar. You can't throw Reese's out there. Reese's is not
the Reese's is right there. I want to say Reese's so bad.
Yep.
Because it would be a Reese's. And then like if they told me I couldn't have a Reese's, I would complain about that. Man, I think Baby Ruth.
I mean, all right. It's a Snickers without the caramel.
That's like I agree, that one and the Toblerone. The Toblerone chocolate bars growing up, you always used to get those in my stocking. So like,
Toblerone. Okay,
but
all right.
Yeah, I think Baby Ruth is my number one. Snickers is okay, man. I don't. You know what? Now that I think about it, candy bars are kind of busted. We need to do better candy bars.
Hot take. Really? Okay. Like 12-year-old.
I mean, I feel like we could
Butterfinger all day.
Well, like when I think about my favorite chocolates, like none of them really exist. It's all like Reese's or M&Ms or you know what I mean. It's like none of them are really falling in the candy bar category. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. I think candy bars could do better at the end of the day. I feel like a lot of other candies are out competing them. So I think we got to the bottom of it.
I bet you're like secretly bougie as hell over here. You're just like, Jeeves, grab the Ghirardelli. Stu needs his candy.
When I am feeling like a bougie bitch, I'll get like a zero bar. I'll get I'll get me some white chocolate. But
what the hell is a zero? Yeah. Okay, everyone in the chat, make sure. Okay, bar? First, chat, let us know what your favorite candy bar is in here. Hashtag Snickers. What the hell is a zero bar? What is that? Is that like a Zima?
It's Yeah, I'm in some sections of the world, probably yes. No, it's like white chocolate, nougat. What is nougat anyway, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, some other good shit. The stuff that's inside candy bars, man. But yeah, it's got white. It's a white chocolate exterior, which is yeah, and it's got like a gray, white, and blue packaging, so it's kind of like distinct.
I've never heard of
But
this in my entire life. I'll be on the lookout for it though.
it,
I'll
it
I'll
could be
try
one of
one.
those East Coast, West Coast things. You know what I mean? Where it's like In-N-Out Burger or something. You know, you guys have it, we don't. Vice
That's
versa.
true. That's true. The
Yeah,
more reason for you to visit the West Coast, brother. More reason. That's all I'm
yeah.
gonna say, man. In and out's where it's at.
Amen.
All
I
right.
did say white
Let-
chocolate, Bobo.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what they got going on here. Starting off with Rogue, a man of impeccable taste. Snickers all day. Goddamn
Rogue, you
right.
come on, Rogue.
It's all right. We got Omega here. Oh, yeah. Nice seeing you, Omega. You slid in here after we were saying hi to everyone here.
Omega, what up?
Baby Ruth, though.
Fair. I wear that all day.
There we go. Let's see here. We got Bobo saying, looking for Mr. Goodbar. I'm not gonna turn down a Mr. Goodbar. It's simple, it's clean, right? Just chocolate, peanuts, good time. It's a good time.
Yeah.
We got Omega here. Candy bars are busted. I mean, listen, we call it like it is here on Incan Insights. Let's see here. We got Bobby saying, no, I want to Wonka bar with golden. Dude, do you really though? Do you really? When was the last time you watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? I'm just saying, like, my Augustus Gloop looking ass was gonna get stuck in that tube, and I'm not sure if I want that in my life. So I don't know, man. I'll take the candy bar though. I'm gonna sell that everlasting gobstopper like that though. That sucker's gone. Let's see here. Omega saying, let's be real. Hershey's cookie and cream is OP. I can't argue that.
That's great. That's a great choice. That's a great choice.
Yeah.
That's what I should have chosen.
Yeah, dude, we wouldn't be having this conversation though. So thank you for stirring us up here a little bit, you know. Nutrageous.
Nutrageous? If you don't get the fuck out of here. You know what eat Nutrageous?
What I know I've heard of a Nutrageous. I can't for the life of me remember what a Nutrageous is though.
Nobody can.
Yeah. Okay.
But
here we go.
Butterfinger's a good call. Butterfinger's a good call, Nick.
Simpleton coming correct though with the fast break here. You know what a fast break is?
I do not.
Dude, I'm pretty sure if this is the same thing I'm thinking here, this is like the Reese's equivalent of a candy bar that's got a little bit of pretzel in there. It's got the peanut butter. It's got the chocolate. I think they had targeted it as like the adult's candy bar for that adult on the go that needs a little sweet treat. And you know, I ain't mad at that. So,
wow, you know a lot about fast breaks, bro.
Dude, I remember it because I was working at a gas station at the time that they came out, and like they had a rep come out and sell us on how to sell these candy bars, and they're like, "It's the adult candy bar. It's for the mature candy bar appreciator."
Oh my god!
For some reason, it's
are they still in business? They're still in business with that kind of nonsense.
I guess, right? Oh no! Shoot, Simpleton's right. That's a take 5. All right, Simpleton, set us straight here. What the heck is a fast break? I know that I've had one. I've definitely had one more recently than I've had a Nutrageous. I can tell you that much. Jesus. Dang it. All right, well, we'll find out what that is then. Okay, so shout out to Take 5. Take 5s for the
Let me ask you this real quick. Are you Almond Joy or Mounds?
Ooh. Now in my life, Mounds. You ask a child, Eric, though, like, first of all, they could both go to hell. That was the most disgusting piece of trash candy you could give me. I would rather, no, like, you give me an apple on Halloween, I'm going to be happier than getting an Almond Joy or a Mounds. Now, give me that coconut. It's so good.
Yeah, same, bro. I got to mirror your statement exactly. I'm right there with you. Like childhood to adulthood, everything. Yep. Gotta have
See?
that. I'm like a coconut's like one of those flavors as an adult. I really ground to love, man. Like I love coconut cream pies and all that good stuff.
Well, Stu, that makes me feel like a man of great taste like yourself would love a Take 5 bar brought to you by Hershey's. Just saying.
Did we just get sponsored?
Those adult tastes call for adult
I
candy
take back
bars in your
everything
life.
bad I said about candy bars, Hershey's. If you want to sponsor Ink
Listen,
and Insights,
Dog
I
and Suds
guess.
was straight up pissed with you. They dropped the sponsorship within 30 seconds of having it. So we got to pick up something, right? So Hershey's, if you're listening, we're open to the idea of a partnership. So we've gone completely off the rails here. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, comics. Yeah, let's finish out this issue of Redcoat, who doesn't eat any candy bars, by the way. It's only the evil slave owning freaking Southern dude here that is eating candy bars. Seems like he gets his comeuppance though when his house gets completely destroyed and blown up here.
Yeah.
The Northerner, though, in a really cool, almost Back to the Future kind of thing, like where Marty sees his hand disappearing in the photo. He has the dollar bill, or I'm sorry, the $5 bill here that has you have to forgive me, I don't know who the name of the individual is on there, but clearly a Southern boy on there, which is not the $5 bill that we know and love, and that hasn't changed the way that it should when everything plays out in our universe like it should. So when he sees that
it's
is
like
not
the Back to the Future photo.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We don't got Marty playing freaking, Chuck Berry out there. So when he sees that hasn't changed back, he knows that his mission isn't complete here, and that him and Simon Pure, they still got to finish out their part of the story, basically. What are your thoughts about where Redcoat's going, man?
Dude, I loved it. I love this the little the cobbler bit. I have expected. Did you expect homeboy from Wild Wild West to come out on the spider legs and be like, Mr. West, like with all the advanced weaponry and the Civil War? Like it felt like that was about to go down. But
yes,
yeah, it was dope to see. I love to see the Northerner with the guns blazing and Simon Pure kind of continuing to stumble his way through life. But yeah, the plot thickens, man. It's gonna be I'm glad that we're kind of we've kind of done some meandering, spent some time with American Legends with Johnny Appleseed and Annie Oakley. One of the most intriguing parts were some of these visions he saw in this episode or in this issue. Where did you see that part where he's like holding a dying Johnny Appleseed and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's like
all of that.
Yeah, he's experiencing all timelines at like one moment, basically. Is that how you took it, right?
Yes, yeah, something like that. But I'm wondering what of those moments we're going to see further on in the future. That obviously one of them is going to come to. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of them come to fruition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so that was super interesting to me. But yeah, I like I said, it's good to have like a direction we're going to. I love the action and adventure we're gonna get. It's trying to stop this shipment of horrific weapons from reaching the Confederacy and John Bell Hood. And like also I'm a big history guy, so like him using these certain figures from both Civil War history and Revolutionary, it's just been so great along the way. Even like some of the minor ones who Johns might mention just in a throw off panel or two. Just the way he uses that to build this world is fantastic. And I don't know, man, it's been such a great sojourn through American history with Simon Pure. So yeah, I love this book. So much fun.
Yeah, it seems like it's picking up
like
steam
you said,
with a lot of people.
Fun week for comics.
Yeah, like I hear a lot of people now starting to like pick up with Redcoat, and they're kind of saying like, I didn't really dig this book at first, but now like it's kind of becoming one of my favorites, or like I'm really enjoying this. I'm stoked to hear that, man, because I really liked this from the onset. And I feel like it's just gotten stronger and stronger as time has gone on. So I'm a Redcoat fan, man. I'm here for it. I can't wait to see. Like it's like I want it to get to the point where Geiger and Redcoat and like all of these players are in the same landscape. but I also equally don't. I want them to really take their time and draw out that anticipation, because that map in the back of every single issue is kind of awesome seeing like, oh, where are we at? What do we
Yeah.
think is coming down here? Because like just the buildup for the Northerner, who I had no idea. I'm like, who is the North? What does this even mean? Like, it's totally paid off. And if they could do that with what's the next one, the Red Widow or something like that, and then we have the first Ghost that's coming down the pipeline. Like, if they can keep doling that out and making it as worthwhile as each one of these things has been, man, Ghost Machine is just where it's at, dude. It's just so much freaking fun.
Yeah, dude, Hitch is doing a great job. I love to see him do these like great big battle landscapes that he does throughout this issue, and both of his last 2-3, I want to say, wraparound covers for these issues have been freaking incredible. So shout out to him keeping up with the pacing and the consistency. He's done a great job.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and they've been on schedule. I don't think anything's been delayed. So like, yeah, like shout outs to the whole Ghost Machine crew. But yeah, particularly Brian Hitch and Jeff Johns, man, just doing the work, man, doing the damn thing. So kudos to them. I think we have some more candy bar confessions here in the chats. We
Let's
have
hear
Comic
it.
Culture. Okay, so this must be the Nutrageous bar. So peanut butter center, coated in caramel, topped with peanuts, covered in chocolate. I just the other week tried a caramel Reese's cup, right? And that thing tastes like trash. Caramel and peanut butter have no need to be along. They are not friends, right? It's like, put up a fence, keep those things away from each other.
Yeah,
I don't think we need those two things together in big, I don't know, sizes here. So sorry,
I agree. He
Nutrageous.
listed them ingredients like he was doing something. Get that shit the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Sorry, that comment's going away. This comment's coming back up though. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
Wise words.
Oh,
Wise
man, Joyce
words.
had nuts.
Okay. Fast break. We know exactly what it is now. Peanut butter, chocolate, and nougat. See, nougat and peanut butter, those two, they're buddies. They could play, they could play with one another, right? That definitely works.
Sounds like we need to make our own candy bar.
It sounds like it. Not with this guy though. Hate you guys so much. I mean, you know us though. Like, I mean,
Whatever,
like,
Nutrageous, whatever you say.
yeah. It's like you know what to expect at this point, Nick. It's like, don't act like it. I mean, like, I don't know here. Going back to his previous comment here, though, I wish Rockefellers was tied into this. Seems like it's playing right into the story of Redcoat with people messing with time and changing things. I fell off of Rockefellers, man. I was enjoying the first couple issues, and then it kind of just felt really meandering. It felt like it gave me an excuse to drop out because there was no hook and no greater narrative that it was driving forward. So I was just like, okay, well, I guess I don't need to read this book. Are you sticking around with it? Have you been reading it?
No, I haven't since like issue 2. That makes me sad too, because it's like one of those books that I forgot about. Like, oh yeah, how's that book doing? And I definitely have back on to it if I heard good things, but that's depressing.
I did see a solicit for
How's
the.
Are you still on Hornsby and Halo?
No, I dropped. I very intently dropped off of that one. Not that it was a bad book, but it's very clearly written for a young reader, right? I mean, I don't think that I shouldn't say it's meant for a young reader, but that's where its primary focus is. And with the wide swath of books that we have to read, I just, you got to make room. And when there's things that are not going to resonate with you as a reader individually, it was just an easy cut for me. However, I do know that there are still people out there reading and enjoying it pretty thoroughly. In fact, I think Comic Patrol is still on that book here. So if you're looking for a good review and a better opinion than mine, definitely check out Comic Patrol and his opinions on the book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into the net. Well, hold on. Let's highlight this one more time just to make sure that he understands that we know that you hate us, Nick. Sorry, I just want to do that one more time. All right, for my little things here, this was from the last issue of Into the Unbeing part 2, issue number 4. This is written by Zach Thompson with artwork by Hayden Sherman. This is a weird body horror Cronenbergian type of story all about these individuals traversing through this immense mountainous being that they find on Earth, and they come across creatures that have been inhabiting the inside of this body along with humans. And the longer you're inside of this thing, the more you change and the more weird stuff happens to your body. And there is some grotesque things happen, but nothing is more grotesque than this dog with hands. Dogs don't have hands and they shouldn't be grabbing axes. And this was so unsettling and so unnerving to me. Dogs don't do that. Oh, God, it's so freaking creepy. And look at the monster. That monster used to be a human. And that's not what's creeping me out. It's the fact that the dog has thumbs. Ugh. It's not right. It's not natural.
Wow, that's really getting to you. So is like your Jurassic Park like horror story like getting chased around the kitchen by like
It's not the Velociraptor claws tapping against the ground. It's the thumbs of a dog. With thumbs. As I'm just like hiding behind the thing in the kitchen, just waiting to make my move. Ugh, it's wrong, dude. I'm sorry.
Dude, so I gotta check this out though.
It's weird, dude. This
looks so cool.
Thing. Like, so they've had
Hayden Sherman.
And they've had 2 arcs so far, and each arc has ended off on this note where I'm sitting here going, I think I gotta drop this. This is so weird. And then I forget to drop it. And then the first issue of the next arc comes out, and I'm like, holy shit, this is fantastic. This is so weird and wild. So it's like, I have a real love-hate relationship with this book because it ended on a weird note again for me. And I'm like, what am I doing with this? Like, where does this fit in my life? But I decided not to drop it because I feel like I'm going to have that opinion again once part 3 comes out here. But don't listen to me. Listen to Rogue Collecting because he's going to set you straight, man. He's loving this book. So, yeah, definitely check his opinions out. Get it for the art, though. The art is, dude, like Hayden does some weird things. There's a panel from a previous issue. I should have spotlighted it on one of our older episodes. But a person is looking at the palm of their hand, and because people are changing and being manipulated, and like they see the map of the landscape growing out of their hand. All these growths start coming out, and it takes the shape of the mountainous landscape that they're having to navigate through. And Hayden draws it so gross and so awesome, though. Like it's one of those images that like it totally makes an issue. It's a perfect candidate for a little things kind of thing.
Yeah, I gotta check this out. When you saying Hayden Sherman and Cronenberg together in the same sentence was all I needed to hear.
Yeah, check it out, man. I think it's going to be one of those things that probably end up reading better in trade, at least for me personally. But I think it's definitely worthwhile looking at as long as you don't have a phobia of dogs with thumbs.
Fair enough.
All right. Oh, here we go. Hold on. We got Rogue saying, yeah, it's worth it for the art alone, and he can really go wild with the layouts too. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a cool thing that Hayden is kind of becoming known for, which is awesome. I love a good layout. Jesse Lonergan does really good layouts in his books. Hayden Sherman is another name that comes to mind for that kind of stuff. So there's a handful of people out there that do really, really inventive things with the way that they lay out a page. All right. Moving on to Comics of Futures Past. This is a banger, guys. This is an absolute banger here, released on May 21st, not 21st, 21st here. Typo found here. Where's our editing crew? I guess it's me. X-Men Volume 1, number 136, saw the culmination of the team's efforts to suppress the Phoenix Force. The X-Men, it's kind of coming to the end game. This isn't the absolute end of the Dark Phoenix saga, but it's like the penultimate issue here. They are able to suppress Jean's powers to maybe kind of sort of make their final attempt at an attack to suppress her powers, to get Jean back and kind of like take away the Phoenix Force itself. And it's pretty cool. Professor X does battle with her in the astral plane, trying to basically, I don't know, tamp down. Like, you can't separate the two entities at this point together, but trying to tamp down the Phoenix Force itself. And they're able to do so. The team is able to go through all these actions here. Weird ending to an issue though. So this kind of does things that were the inspiration for X-Men 3. One of those things being that Jean basically, while in control of herself for a small portion of time, begs Logan to kill her, basically, sink the claws into her, put her out of her misery, be done with her. He obviously can't do that. Once Professor X is able to actually do the thing that he needs to do and kind of get Jean back in control, Scott Summers, our boy, is so relieved that he basically proposes to Jean right then and there, in arguably her most harrowing hour after being manipulated and controlled by this Phoenix entity, and then says yes. So real interesting, real melodramatic kind of issue that we kind of come to know and love from Chris Claremont. And one thing that I've done a poor job of here on Comics of Futures Past here is showcasing the actual issues that we're talking about here, with this one being out of my own personal collection, Uncanny 136 here. Even got the price tag still on there, 75 buckaroonies that I had to drop for this puppy. Awesome issue, penultimate for the Dark Phoenix saga, sets the stage for the greater Galactic Council to decide the one true fate of the Phoenix here, which will take place on the blue of the moon, with the Shi'ar Empire and the X-Men doing battle. So pretty epic stuff here, pretty wild journey for a book that came out in 1980 before either one of us were born. So that's your Comics of Futures Past. Stu, do you have any of the
Legendary.
do you got any of the Dark Phoenix run?
I don't, man. I don't have a whole lot of early X-Men. Most of my stuff is in the 90s. Yeah.
Gotcha. Still a good time. Still a great time, man. Yeah, we were talking about before with Spider-Man and Wolverine, right? X-Men 25. All
Absolutely.
right. Moving on to our covers of the week here, I'm going to go ahead and I'll kick things off here, starting with Detective Comics. I wanted to showcase, I really, really, really like this artist's work, and I haven't had the opportunity to show a lot of his covers as of yet. Chris Stevens, though, doing fantastic work for this cover on Detective Comics. He was actually at Heroes last year, and I could never find him when he was at his booth. He's going to be back again this year, though, so maybe, possibly, hopefully, we'll see if we can spend a little time there and see what he's got to offer. We have Null Hunter. Oh gosh, this is such a fun book, and I just loved the approach that it took on this variant cover, which really brings forth like the idea of like the stories being told on the pottery and on the tapestry of something that would be in Greece, considering that this is the cyberpunk retelling of the 12 Labors of Hercules. Really, really digging the look and feel of this one. I can't remember the artist's name off the top of my head. It's like RTM Travanov. I'm probably mispronouncing that though, right off the top of my head, but definitely check it out. League of Comic Geeks is going to point you in the right direction here if you're digging this kind of style and this kind of approach. Then finally, we have the Summer of Superman variant here for Wonder Woman. This is done by Chris Anka. I just kind of dug it, man. The lighting effects look stupendous on this. The approach, the Wonder Woman Superman mashup costume here looks really dope on Diana. I just thought it was a really cool one to showcase here, man. So Chris Anka doing good work. Appreciate the approach there. Looks good. Stu, you want to talk about your first cover of the week?
Yeah, dude. Aaron Campbell. I just like this this bright blast of orange he's got for which one is this? Batman. I want to say this is or Detective Comics, sorry. But yeah, like you said, dude, Detective Comics has had some great variants. Yeah, and it's great to see Aaron Campbell doing Batman. So this one was super dope. I don't really know who this villain is, but I love the color work on this one.
Yeah, hell yeah, for sure. Dude, DC is
next up
for variants.
Okay. Yeah, they've been doing a great job. The great job curating, like not doing a whole like going crazy with it, but like the ones that they have assigned, they've done a killer job, man. Next up, dude, like we were saying, Felipe Andrade doing his variant for New Gods. Just an absolutely beautiful piece of work. Look at the colors on it. Black Racer, flying through the ether. It's just a beautiful piece of work. Yeah. So like you talk about great variants. All the variants for this one have been incredible, from Kegels to those acetate ones they've done. I know my man Simpleton knows what time it is, so yeah,
Yes,
definitely had to throw this one on there.
for sure.
Hell yeah.
What you got next here?
Dude, cover A for Incredible Hulk, Thor versus Hulk. Nick Klein has been killing all these cover A's. They've been so exceptional. I fell off of the series a long time ago, but I saw this one and I wanted to highlight it. It gave me old school Kirby vibes, but also it's got that bombastic Nick Klein detail. So definitely wanted to shout that one out.
Yeah, I had a lot of high hopes for this series when that creative team was put on there, and I
Same,
really
man.
wish that Nick Klein could have stuck around and done more issues more frequently, because I feel like I'd still be reading Hulk if that were the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And the story was just so slow going. So
It was, yeah.
yeah, dude, and had to shout out Alex Ross and his timeless covers. This Moon Knight one was a favorite. You know, these are all over the place here recently, but saw this Moon Knight one and had to shout it out. Just love these. Love the belt on Moon Knight here. And yeah, I'm always a sucker for like the white hood and just the black space and the two white slits for eyes. Like that always works for me. I love all the fear and terror that conveys. So
Dude, that pose straight up looks like Moon Knight is like getting ready to like drop his like 90s hip hop album, though. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, absolutely.
And I'd be here for
Absolutely,
it
bro.
too. Like I want to hear what Mark Spector can do.
Yeah, you're definitely getting features. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Frank Quietly doing Superman. Need I say more? I think this is like, you know, kind of a Kegel's inspiration for when he draws Superman, but
Yeah.
just such a beautiful, clean Superman. It's the picture I put in my head when I think about Superman. You know, it's like I just think he captures some beautiful, true like vulnerability. The childlike essence of Clark, but also the you know the magnificence that is Superman and this all powerful being. Like he's able to, um, I guess you know, walk between those worlds so well when it comes to depicting Clark on the page. So one of my all-time favorite Superman artists. It's just great to see him doing a cover for.
Yeah.
This was for the Superman Unlimited, Dan Slott's new book.
Yep. It's such a simple thing to say too, but like I love the way that Frank is able to render clothing. It looks like something that sits on top of the figures as opposed to an afterthought. And like there's not a lot of detail. You don't see a lot of fold lines in it or anything like that. It just looks clean, but it looks like something that does exist on top of the character. And you don't really get that a lot. Most of the time it looks like, you know, like everyone's got like their costume spray tanned on top of themselves. So
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like when he does Clark, his clothes are always wrinkled up and like
yes.
disheveled and you know all over him and you feel every bit of that. So that's a great point. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
All right. Well, outside of the variant covers, or not just variant covers, but any covers that we like to showcase here, we also got the comics that came out today. I gotta say, like of all these things, I'm a Daredevil boy. Like, give me Daredevil, man. I loved issue number 1 of Daredevil Cold Day in Hell, and I really, really liked issue number 2. I've already read it. It's a banger, guys. Go out there. If you're not reading it, like pick this book up, dude. It's so freaking good. I don't e if anything's gonna get close to holding a candle to that one for me, I don't know, man. They got some heavy lifting to do. All of these other books look really, really great. But who boy, that one just did it for me, man. What are you looking forward to though?
Man, all these other books. So you see, yeah, like Absolute Martian Manhunter for sure, Absolute Wonder Woman, Assorted Crisis Events. Um, yeah, Ultimate Spidey. All you know, I don't have League in front of me, but definitely going to be a great read for comics, man. Yeah, definitely as well. Looking forward to McNiven on Daredevil. Absolute Wonder Woman is definitely my top. So I think that's like my favorite ongoing right now.
Well, and that goes to show because I would say the same thing to you. That's the high praise that I'm giving Daredevil right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not reading it, go
Hell
pick it
yeah,
up,
dude.
guys. Because amongst the competition, which I have not read yet, amongst the competition though, this one stands pretty darn tall. It's at
That's
least standing
awesome, dude.
eye
I'm
to
so
eye.
glad. I'm so glad you get a good story. Oh
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
you deserve it.
Other standouts that look like they could be cool that are not shown here. We have another installment of Hyde Street that's coming out. We had another Minor Arcana that's coming out. Interestingly enough, both of those issues have different artists taking on the artistic duties of those books. So we don't got Jeff Lemire doing Minor Arcana, and we don't have Ivan Reis on Hyde Street. So don't know the look of them yet, but something to look out for. We got Power Fantasy #9. Shout out to all you Power Fantasy lovers out there. We know you. We appreciate you. What else? What else? What else? We're taking everyone down with us. #3 comes out here. This is gonna be a make or break issue for me. I've really liked it, but I need to see where it's going. And I think another one, Mad Cave has a new series coming out, The Pale Knights, written by Peter Milligan. I'm a sucker for Milligan.
Oh
I
hell
read
yeah,
everything that he puts out. So yeah, I'm checking that one out for sure. Other than that, I was telling Stu backstage here. Oh, get this bad boy if you go to your shop here, the artist proof of Deadly Class #1. If you think that I'm just a tiny person, no, I'm not. This is in fact a huge comic. So banana for scale here, regular comic, artist proof. Go get this puppy. It's awesome, especially if you're a Wes Craig fan.
oh yeah,
All
great call.
right. All right, that brings us to the end of our show here. But as always, you could definitely always check us out over at patreon.com/ink and insights, where we post our previews of the slides that we're going to be going over for each and every one of the episodes that we do here. On top of that, our newsletters are going to be dropping there. Our latest just dropped was 2 weeks ago, where we go over an interview with Mark Russell, some great articles, comic recommendations, all kinds of fun stuff that you come to know and love from the Ink and Insights crew. Other than that, you could check me out at 9 Panel Grid on all the socials and on the YouTubes and everything like that. Stu, go ahead and close us out, man. Where can we find you and what you got coming out?
Yeah, man, of course. Like you said, patreon.com/ink and insights for previews of everything we got coming out every week. But yeah, Dr. Doom's Fan Club on YouTube and IG. As always, we will be on the 9 Panel Grid channel next Wednesday night for Ink and Insights. But appreciate y'all coming through, spending time with us. Thank you to everybody in the chat, either live or on the rewind, who watches the show and supports us. It means so much to us when y'all leave those comments telling us how much you appreciate our opinions and the things we have to say about the books that we all love together. It really means a lot. So we appreciate y'all support and coming out and hanging with us every week, man. We just try to have fun. This is a show I always look forward to, always a highlight on my calendar every week. So love hanging out with E, love hanging out with y'all. So thank you guys. And if you're going to be at Heroes next month, holler at your boys. We're both going to be there. So got those press passes. Can't wait. So yeah, make sure you reach out if you feel like hooking up, having a beer, walking the con floor or whatever. We'd love to hang. But yeah, I guess that's it for me. E. Until next time, we'll see y'all. Station.